The story of Narciso Barranco and his sons is one that captured the attention of the country and turned even some MAGA voters against Donald Trump's immigration policies. After the father of 3 U.S. Marines was brutally arrested by immigration agents while working at his landscaping job in Santa Ana, California, earlier this summer. After 24 days in custody, Barranco was finally released on bond and reunited with his family. He's choosing to speak out about what he went through. After his release from Adelanto Detention Center, he sat down exclusively with my friend and colleague Jacob Soboroff for a moving interview, which he shared with us on the Best People podcast. Here's a look at that interview.
After one of the first conversations after you were taken by the agents, one of the first things that your dad asked you to do was to keep doing his job for him?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Why did you ask him that after you got detained? Why was it so important for you to ask Alejandro to keep doing the work?
Porque automáticamente pensaste en mantener tu trabajo, que yo te ayudara y que a completar eso.
¿La responsabilidad es primero?
First of all, responsibilities. I think that it was dignified work in which I was able to bring home something to eat in support of my household.
He told me you're a person who loves this country, and you taught your boys to love this country, and your 3 boys joined the United States Marines. Why did you teach them to love this country so much?
Porque es un país para nosotros como hispanos, es un país de las oportunidades.
Because for us Hispanics, it's a land of opportunities. But simply, I've always told them, you want to be someone in life? Watch your record, protect yourself. If you want to be good, you'll be good. And if you don't want to be good, then you can just throw your life away. It's different. It's just as this country can give us an opportunity, it can also destroy many of us.
Wow. Joining our conversation is Jacob Soboroff, who we are thrilled to say was today named Senior National and Political Correspondent for MSNBC. He's also my guest this week on the Best People podcast. He is most certainly one of the best people I know, as is Eddie Glaude, who is still with us, not on the podcast yet, but definitely one of the best people. Jacob, this interview was so powerful. Take us through what you heard from Narciso.
I heard a man, Nicole, who is so proud of his sons. He is so proud of this country, and he is reluctantly speaking out. I don't think he wanted, frankly, to do the interview, but he invited us there to his backyard in Santa Ana, in Orange County, I should say, to show us the life that he built over the last 30 years inside the United States of America, a life that resulted in his 3 boys becoming members of the U.S. Marine Corps, and one of them, Alejandro, the veteran, speaking out on his behalf to the point where he became, I think, a hero to so many across the United States. Mr. Barranco, Narciso, we spoke in Spanish during the interview. I told you this on the pod. And by the way, thank you so much for having me. I mean, what an extraordinary way to have a conversation with you. So deep, so moving, so personal. I didn't expect it to be so personal. Just like the conversation with Mr. Barranco. And we spoke so much in Spanish. He spoke so much in Spanish. But when we talked about his garden itself, he switched into English. It was like he was so comfortable with me talking about his life's work in the United States of America. Everything about him was surprising to me. How he could have had so much pride and so much hope despite what he went through. And in fact, that was I would love to show you, it was one of the other things that he and I talked about. When he came out of Adelanto Detention Center, one of the worst, objectively, Inspector General reports have said that this place, and I saw with my own eyes, had people curled up in fetal positions, in inhumane situations. There were nooses that were found there. He said he found hope inside that detention facility while he was locked up. And I couldn't understand how or why. And it's one of the questions that I asked him. Watch this. Today I heard you describing being locked up in Adelanto. Even in a place like that, there's still hope. Why did you say that? Why do you feel that way?
Put yourself in my place. What will you feel?
Claro, soy ser humano.
Of course, I'm a human being, and they don't want me to be here outside. I'm with the people on the inside, because they're my people, people I lived with. And I had hope, as I would always tell them, one day we're going to get out, having faith. And we haven't done anything bad, it's just simply for working. And I see my reflection in their pain because it's my own.
I see their reflection in my pain because it's their own. Instead of thinking about himself, instead of thinking about whether or not he's going to get deported, he's thinking about the other people that he left behind, Nicole, inside that detention center.
Eddie Glaude, I'm not sure that there's more important work that any reporter's doing than sort of bearing witness, right? There's not a lot. Donald Trump has a lot of authority when it comes to mass deportations, but he doesn't have public support for deporting people like Narciso Barranco. I think fewer than 20% of Americans support the deportation of people here with jobs, and around 9% support people with American-born children. I'm not sure. I've never seen any polling on how many people support the deportation of men who are the fathers of 3 United States Marines, 2 active duties. I'm guessing it's 0. But what do you make of what is being done sort of in the name of all of us, all of Americans, to people who, in Mr. Barranco's telling, only crime was working?
Honestly, Nicole, I think it's evil. It cuts against everything I was taught as a child growing up in St. Peter's Catholic Church on the coast of Mississippi. It cuts against the values that so many people associate with the American project, but coming out of the tradition out of which I come, it seems familiar. Forcing us to be complicit with evil seems to be a feature of our days in these dark times. And one of the things that, Jacob has done so beautifully, right, is to give life to the people who are harmed by all of this, to break through the abstraction by forcing us to confront the human beings who have to bear the brunt and weight of our contradictions, who have to bear the brunt and weight of the evil. And one of the things that came out of that interview for me, and this is going to sound cynical, but I think it's in the gut, it's what I know, that when the country is experiencing a fever dream, Nicole, gratitude is never enough. Sacrifice is never enough. The bloodthirst is what it is. But, he found hope in fellow human beings close to the ground, not at abstraction, but close to the ground. That's what I see.